And we should be live now.
Yo! Good morning.
Yep. Excellent
Welcome,
connection.
welcome.
We have no viewers.
Oh, we didn't ping.
Oh, did I not ping in the post? Oh, you know what? Because I typed it first originally, and then we should have kept the other one. 3 content time pings.
Okay, let's open this up.
Well, now if they weren't sure on the time, and they might not normally open Discord for like 1 notification, they'll see 3, and then they'll see that it went live.
Yeah. It's like, oh, 1, what could it possibly be? Surely it's not that important. 2, maybe if there's a 3rd notification, it's 3 notifications. This must be so important. Everybody tune in right now.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think our title has changed.
I did not change the title, you're right.
Nice. This is professional.
and it has the whole description of the timestamps that are completely irrelevant.
Oh my god. This is professional level content here. What's up, guys? AZ, exam just finished. Welcome. You definitely aced it. I don't know what the exam was on, but knowing you, you got at least 1 question right. MonkeBoi, what's this? We're gonna go over some week 1 highlights.
Yep.
There we go. Replay review. Hog. Production value, exactly, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I probably changed it yesterday, but it like didn't save because it never went live. So.
Oh yeah, true, probably. That was my bet. So okay, for a little bit of context for any early joiners, this is gonna sound so cope and like I'm completely just making this up. I took a nap before stream and set 3 alarms.
Cope.
I'm coping. I set 3 alarms, and I swear to you, the alarm actually didn't go off. So I tried so it was like 7:30 by the time I woke up, and I'm like, oh shit, whatever, that's fine. We'll put it off till 6 p.m. sharp tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm trying to test out my alarm. I'm like, why is this not going off? Because I missed my alarm at 7:30 something yesterday morning as well. And I'm like, okay, surely there's got to be something up. I try and play the ringtone that I usually have for my alarm, and it says can't play ringtone while in a call or something along those lines. So my messenger app was like bugging my phone to the point where I couldn't my alarm wouldn't go off because it thought that I was in a call, so I had to force stop messenger and restart my phone. That's the only reason I'm here today.
It's crazy. He might have slept
I
forever.
don't know what that was, but it is legit. Look it up. It's a bug. Trust me.
Yeah.
And I'm not coping. I'm kind of coping.
Yeah. And now, poor old me, I had to play my match and stream in the same day.
All in one day.
And that's the
How are you
only
feeling after
reason I
battle?
lost. Not too bad.
Oh, you lost? Oh no.
Yeah. I lost. No, realistically though, like it wouldn't have mattered. Like the stream wouldn't have made a difference because I was unaware that we were playing that early today anyway. So we had to put it in there. But so I don't think the outcome changed.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not gonna complain either because I like actually can't play this weekend. So like it was gonna have to be during the week, and it was gonna have to be that early after getting back from work one of these days. So
yeah, just decided not to build.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna happen. It doesn't matter when I schedule most of these games. I'm not gonna build ahead of time unless I like actually know that like, oh, I'm playing Sunday night and I'm gone from Friday until Sunday night. Then I'll like put something ahead of time, which is funny. Which is why it was funny in the PGA one, where like the one time that I build a team like fully ahead of time because I knew I was gonna be busy, and it's like, okay, this is the last week There's no more trades that can happen. This is the team that I'm facing. Was the one where the doc was wrong and I was supposed to be playing somebody else. But then,
Oh no!
but then we flipped it anyway. So because nobody else had prepped anything, so they're like, all right, it's a team draft because it was the team draft. So it was like my matchup within the team was different.
Right. So who were you supposed to play, and who did you end up playing?
I don't even remember. Like I actually,
all right, all good.
But it was within the team, so it was just we were just switching two of the people around basically.
Yeah,
but I know that the biggest thing that was annoying was because if the swap back were to stick, then I would have been going against gouging fire without a single fire resist on my team at all. Like after free agency had ended, like, and I would have had to like
take those moments.
So it was. But the thing is, if I had known that too, like, there's a chance that since it was the last week, I might have like made a trade, like, oh, bring in like pyro or something, right? Just to like have a fire resist. But then when I found out that I wasn't playing the person that I thought I was playing, and that I was playing against a gouging fire, then it was already too late to do that. So I was like, all right, this kind of sucks. So and really like it was a meme team anyway. So I didn't really care that much about the outcome, but it was kind of like.
Oh yeah, you had mono normal, didn't you?
Yeah, that was my mono normal team.
What did you think of that?
Which won 2 games.
Yapping.
So
I know we're kind of yapping now, but we're kind of chilling this stream, kind of podcast style. So what did you think of that mono normal team? Was it fun?
It was fun. Yeah, I mean, I like the thing is I like the normal types that I used to begin with, and I actually was having some fun on the ladder with a mono normal team, on like in the monotype ladder, because monotype ladder is more fun than any of the other current tiers that allow Terra. So I was just having fun there. And I drafted a lot of the mons that I was using there. Like I got used to using Hisuian Zoroark, who I had never really used before. And so I was like, oh,
that sounds. I've never used the Hisuian form, but I've drafted the base form like since Gen 6 draft. I know it came out in Gen 5, but I didn't start drafting till Gen 6, and I love using that mon. It's so goofy.
Just so specifically good for a mono normal team, because
for
a
sure.
normal ghost type, like being able to immune the fighting types is crazy, and being able to immune the fighting types on a Blissey is even more amazing. So like when you have the illusion out,
the disguise,
it sets up so many.
I always call it disguise,
things.
But that's Mimikyu.
That's Mimikyu, yeah.
Like before, mono normal had to rely on like Meloetta.
Yeah, exactly. And I drafted Meloetta and brought it once, and I don't think it did anything in the game. Like I think it was like at the point that it came out, the game was already lost because it was like Scarf, Gyapdos, just clicking Brave Bird. And it was kind of a waste of like 10 points. But realistically, like, what was I going to bring instead? I don't know.
Yeah, at least maybe it forces your opponent to prep a little. And
So that's why I kind of
rely on choice banded. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I drafted a mono flying team one time. In a it was specifically a monotype speed tour.
Oh yeah.
And it was a lot of
fun.
Like
actually against other monotype teams.
Yeah, it was against other monotypes. So the way it worked is we had to draft a type, and each type, if it was like a really shitty type, would get like a certain amount of extra bonus points.
Oh, I remember seeing this. I think somebody posted something about it.
It was probably me. Yeah. It was either you get bonus points if your team is bad, or if your type is bad, or you get deducted points, or you're 0, like neutral, right?
Yeah.
So flying was 0, and I thought mono flying personally would have been negative, because I actually think it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And my pool I was against.
Was it Nat?
Grass, grass, bug, and something else. I don't remember. And I lost a mono bug.
Was it Nat Dex?
Yeah.
And it was
actually,
Gen
I don't
9?
remember. I don't remember. It might have been Gen 9.
I'm just trying to think. I mean, there are definitely some bug types, like especially like if you were on the on the ladder against a bug type, even then, like it's kind of the same thing where it's like a lot of bug types get stuff to hit you at least, like or like some of the ones that would normally have a really bad matchup, like bug fighting, like Heracross or Buzzwole, will like get rock coverage that just like kind of fucks you up. So like it doesn't really.
The thing I actually lost
when you know you're fighting flying, then it's like it's not as good of a matchup as it might look.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I lost to Swords Dance low kicks.
Okay, well that mon's like actually kind of broken.
Yeah, it just like Life Orb Sucker Punch through my whole team. Dude, it OHKO'd my Enamorous.
With Sucker Punch?
Didn't feel good. Yeah, with Sucker Punch.
Damn. I guess Tinted Lens.
Sucker Punch.
Yeah. And with the +2.
Not feel good.
Yeah, I used low kicks in my very first Gen 9 draft. That was before like anybody had real Terra rules set up. So we had done it where we like drafted a Terra type, like for the whole team, but like anything could Terra, and each of the types were like more or less expensive. So you could get Dragonite and then you could get Terra normal, but they were both like pretty expensive.
True, but you couldn't just draft Dragonite and then make it normal.
Yeah, and the Terra type draft was like in the draft, so you had to choose when to do it. So like you could prioritize like your first 2 picks being Dragonite and Terra normal, or you could do it like your 3rd or 4th pick if you don't really care as much and you want to get Mons over that. So it's like it was a cool concept, but the reality is that like there are some Mons that just should never be able to Terra and draft. It's just too broken.
True.
And especially like just anyone on your team can Terra. Like you just have to be ready for so many things. And we ended up with 4 Terra types, like 2 drafted, and then the 2 that were left over were all available to everyone.
That's kind of neat. So I think that sounds like interesting. Maybe as just an off-season gimmick thing.
Yeah.
It
was fun,
I definitely think. Yeah, I think even just in the NBA, we've definitely learned that like most top-tier things, honestly, even things 15 and above for the most part, are like these things probably shouldn't be able to Terra. There's some things that are definitely skirting the edge of what should be legal.
Yeah, I think it's fine in leagues where, first of all, there are Terra bans for the Mons, but also the like you have like only 2 or 3 types that they can be. Like maybe it's like Stab Terra and then like 1 or 2 others. The problem with any like 15-point Mon or higher being able to just open Terra in most cases is that it's like maybe you can OHKO them regardless of what they Terra to, but sometimes that condition for your lower tier Mon to like maybe beat one of those Mons that it normally wouldn't, like, oh, you get your setup turn and you brought Stone Edge, which is always a guaranteed hit, against the flying type or Dragonite or whatever. Like it's maybe you calc something where it's like this will always kill Dragonite through multi-scale. That's huge, right? Yeah. Okay, well now Dragonite might not have Terra normal available to it, so it might not be as broken as it could be, but it can still just Terra into something that's not weak to rock.
I don't think it's even worth looking at it like that. Yeah,
but it's
I don't know, but
that's why
it
I just kind of make some of them more broken. But
I do think it's neat though having to draft a type in the middle of the draft though, because then at least there's a very clear like. There's a clear trade-off, right? Where you're skipping your entire pick.
Yeah. I think the idea though is that it's like, oh well, if you draft a Mon that's like known for this Terra type, like Dragonite with normal or Roaring Moon with flying, somebody's gonna snipe it from you on the next turn because you left it open.
Well, just get like Fairy and have a good team.
Yeah, but then the other thing is the reality is that like I'm saying this was our expectation going into it, is that like, well, the odds of somebody actually getting Terra normal Dragonite and like, or somebody getting Terra flying Roaring Moon, whatever. But then you think about it, it's like, okay, well, who else is drafting Terra normal? Like, are you really going to waste one of your picks for the sake of the rest of the draft for that person not getting Terra normal? It's like, no, you're not drafting Terra normal. Yeah, like it doesn't make sense. It's kind of like how people are like, oh, well, Rain's hard to draft in draft because somebody can just snipe you. But like the reality is, unless somebody's just trolling you, like you're not getting the Pelipper sniped from you if you start building a Rain
and
team.
even if you are,
because
like,
what are they gonna do with it? Like,
there's an obvious, like, nobody's gonna wheel Pelipper Politoed, right?
Right.
Nobody's gonna wheel like Ninetales Torkoal. Yeah. Right, like that's not going to happen. Even unless, like you said, unless they're hard trolling. But
right, which can happen, but it's not.
It
like,
could.
The reality is like you still have to put that tax on the Weathermon because the draft will not balance it for you.
I agree, and you can't even expect people to like you can't balance it in good faith. You know, you can't balance it.
Oh, maybe they
under
won't
the assumption that people will counterpick. I don't think you should put that pressure on other people to like stop people from being broken. The rules should stop people from being broken.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think there are some cases where it's okay to kind of think about that, where it's like, but those things would like happen naturally. Where it's like somebody's not going to be able to draft all these top tier Mons because somebody's going to want those other top tier Mons to fit in perfectly, right?
Yeah,
which is different from Weather, where it's like if you're not drafting Weather, you don't want it. So nobody's going to do that unless they're trolling.
Yeah.
So
AZ, I know. I even when I said the words "good faith" when they came out of my mouth, I started wincing visibly.
Is that a reference to something?
Yeah, it's deep lore.
Oh.
Dark FE, what's up? Skyhops, what's up?
Yo, Dark's here.
Yo, welcome. So, I mean, we've kind of been just chatting for the last, what, like 15 minutes?
Yeah. I think
I'm good to start getting into the replays. I mean, we have 5 replays to get through today. We have 2 Hustle, 1 Swarm, and 2 Truant. If you're tuning in and you didn't know about our weekly recaps, every week we'll take the most popular replays in the highlight submissions channel directly underneath just the community general channel. If you ever feel like a replay is good and you want it to be reviewed on stream, just chuck it into the highlight submission channel, and the replays with the most reactions on them we'll consider to review. So we've done that this time. We only had 5 submissions, and we usually like to keep it between 4 and 6 anyways, so we just said, screw it, we'll take them all. At least 1 per division. And yeah. When are we going to be talking about the Go Glumly? Do we have a Glum? No, we don't have a Glum replay today, do we?
There was a submission.
No. So I guess it's going to have to be next week.
Was there one submitted for next week?
I don't think there was one submitted. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Max did submit one.
Oh, that's for week 2, though.
In the week 2 submissions, yeah. So
yeah, it says it was from April 16th, so that's week 2.
Yeah.
Gotta get some reactions.
Very true.
So
anyway, I guess without further ado, we just get into it. Which one do you want to go to first? The MCA next week? MCA Royce. Royce is in Vegas right now, I heard. He didn't even tell me. Wow. The bugger.
He didn't even invite you.
I know, he didn't invite me. Where's my invite, brother?
So this is the weather team. Speaking of weather tags and whether you're on a team, this is what you're not afraid of when you're drafting a weather. Like when somebody picks up.
That's funny. This is the team that has every weather, but has the weakest weather on it is sun, versus the team that's like, this is a sun team sort of, but it doesn't have a sun setter.
Yeah. That's actually, who's the sun setter here though?
It's Whimsicott. Oh, do you mean for the Avatar team?
Yeah, they didn't bring the sun setter.
No, they didn't bring a Sunsetter. Because I think it's the weakest part of their team. Let me check. They have Zard Y.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense, but it's not something that you want to facilitate Sun with for the rest of your team. It's like, it'll just come in and use Sun.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is Stormtide versus Zathandous. And I think we just get right into it.
Cool. Let me realize that was a little weirdly cropped.
What do you think? What do you think will happen for leads? What would you do if you are Zathandous staring down triple weather team?
I would lead weather.
Lead weather, yeah. That sounds good.
So Whimsicott setting sun. And if I was the weather team, I would lead with Quillfish.
Quillfish? I think Quillfish makes sense, but I also think a Scizor lead makes sense. Quillfish is not good in a Scizor. Let's see what happened.
Oh god, okay, this is really
Quag,
loud.
We were wrong. Or were we wrong, or were they wrong?
They were wrong.
Okay.
Alright. No more sound effects. They're too loud. And you like can't adjust the volume for this.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I have your stream sound up.
Yeah, I know, but it would have played.
Oh, the Toxic Mist turn 1. Man,
Yeah.
I talk about this all the time, about how a lot of the strength of Toxic is forfeited after the first time you click it.
Yeah.
Right? And if you miss the first time, you're never going to be able to Toxic the thing you need to poison.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's true of certain mons more than others. Where it's like a mon that, like, especially like a Nat Dex, where like you never know if something's running Toxic. Technically, anything can run it.
Yeah.
But like, whereas like in the current gen, which I guess this doesn't really matter as much anymore when most of the only mons that get it are poison type that aren't gonna miss it. But like Quagsire is a mon where it's like he still currently gets it, he could still miss it. Like I'm not shocked to see a Toxic come out from a Quagsire. So I like if I'm playing around a Quagsire, there's a good chance I'm swapping on it expecting the Toxic anyway. But
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying though, where it's like it does suck when it's like you throw out that Toxic and it's like, well, That was my
Yeah, exactly.
answer for
You
this
had your
mon
chance.
that thought that it could wall me, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, but
Exactly.
So-
Anyway,
now here's the real lead. It's the
yeah,
fish.
the real lead, but also you just have rocks up now
He's a bulky boy.
and T-spikes.
Just one layer though, and now there's snow.
I think one layer is probably better versus the Roaring Moon.
Yeah,
Gets the veil up.
and realistically,
This is a really tough spot for Zathandous. Now,
Zapdos
now
is
the
already
rain is
doing
up.
it anyway. It's a really tough spot.
Wow. Goes for double SD.
He will perish.
I don't know if I like the Perish song in Auroravale. It almost feels like a waste of turns.
Yeah.
Although that Thunder only
There's
doing
another toxic
40%
miss.
is crazy. Oh, the Toxic Miss!
Now this is one where I'd say it matters a little more. You know?
Yeah, that definitely matters. You ate that Thunder for 40% to try and
Yeah.
cheese the Zapdos, and it didn't work.
That realistically hitting an attack, it would be dead if it didn't do toxic.
Yeah.
If it just went for like Scald or something. Coming in on the
Okay,
Ice
so the
Fang
moon is
interesting.
in the sun, but like it's in against the Hippowdon.
Yeah, but wait, I want to see something. So he
Wait, Zapdos
just-
is the sunsetter. It's sunny day.
yeah, I
Thunder-
remember that now. Yeah. Sunny day, thunder, Zapdos. I mean, okay, in normal context, it sounds wild. In the context of you don't know if you're going to be clicking sunny day or not, and you might be in rain, it makes more sense.
Yeah, I agree.
But then again, you
Just funny
could
to
just
see.
go for something more neutral and say like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm clicking Thunderbolt even though I'm in rain because I might also be in sun.
Yeah.
I
I would think Quag would be the answer here, though.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
Hippo,
so,
not-
like he just showed Ice Fang into a Zapdos, and you're bringing in your Mon that's weak to Ice Fang on rocks
Yeah.
and poison spikes.
Your physical attacker into the physical wall
Yeah.
behind Aurora Veil. I mean, Veil is gone now, but
Yeah, it just like doesn't do anything. Like what, I don't understand what the game plan there was. Maybe it's just like I'm guessing this maybe isn't. Yeah, he came in on rock, so he's not heat rock. So maybe he's thinking like, oh, this is my only chance with sun, so let's try and do something. But yeah, it's a good question. Well, does he have Hurricane too? He gets the veil.
okay,
up again.
Moonblast. Okay, just
Is
click
that
Moonblast
another
again.
Toxic? Yeah.
Oh no, man! Click the Moonblast. Moonblast is drawback free there.
I guess the drawback he's worried about would be since the veil is up and he's basically giving him a sack as a like basically giving him like a slow pivot by killing the Ninetales. Then you can just put whatever he wants in, but realistically,
Yeah, but
it's-
well, maybe you're right. I do think the Toxic is really nice to circumvent these screens
Yeah.
turns. No, Defog is really punishing Zathandous. I agree.
ooh,
These
reload.
T-Spikes are... I mean, this is Boots Whimsicott, but the T-Spikes have put in a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, it's Boots, Whimsicott, immune, Scizor, and immune, and well, immune to T-Spikes, but also Boots.
Yeah, but I mean, this is now going to die
that
to the
freeze dry
poison.
is huge.
Wait, this Arctifish set is kind of heat. Icicle Spear,
Freeze
dry,
Vicious Rend.
Vicious Rend, Terra Water.
That's probably like I'm guessing it's not invested in Spatak, and that's probably why it didn't kill the Quag there.
Maybe. It might be mixed. Let's take a look at the set after.
Yeah.
GU kills, even
Oh,
if this is Scarf, I don't think you can lose. Yeah, exactly. Polytoad comes in,
Yeah.
sets the rain for Quillfish. This is something I was talking about during
I
the
think
team
that-
review, though, if
yeah.
you remember, about how it's cool to have all of these options, and it's overwhelming for the opponent to prep for everything. But, like, in that end game, you had to sack your Polytoad in order to
Yeah.
get your, like, get out of jail free card.
Right.
And there's only so many times you can get that. And there's only so many times you can get away with that over the season, too.
Yeah.
So this early game happened to go really well for Stormtide. But I don't expect to see a Quillfish end up cleaning with, what is that, 20-something% very
Yeah.
often.
Where's the Arctos? Oh, there he is.
Oh, it was adamant.
He was he kills that Quag if he wasn't minus Spatak.
Yeah, because what did it live with? Like 8%?
It's like 8%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it exactly kills.
Yeah. Cuss that
Well, we
Mario
have
pound on.
True.
Cuss
That's
that
kinda
slack
cool.
off.
Okay. Well, we have the Avatar team with the first win of the season right out of the gates. I can't say that I expected it. I do think the team is legitimately not bad considering what it is.
It has good mods on it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It has good mods, and you can win games with good mods. That's how the game
And you
works.
cannot confidently prep for it either. You have no idea what's coming to the game.
Yeah. And if there's anybody I trust to keep their opponents on their toes, I think Stormtide is up there in the top few. So definitely a good person to have this roster in their hands.
Do we want to check anything
Like if
else?
anybody's going to use it, I think Stormtide would be good for it. Aerial Ace Scizor.
I mean, Technician. Maybe it was.
Can't say I see what it's for.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I don't know.
That was a good game. Congrats to Stormtide for winning game 1. And on to the next Truant game.
The next Truant game.
Oh man, this was such a roller coaster. Do you remember this game?
I kind of forget what happened, to be honest.
Oh man, it's crazy. We talked about it a bit in postgame. And I think you'll remember what we talked about once we get to that point.
Was it Raikou?
Yeah, it was Raikou and Hydreigon stuff.
Oh yeah, okay, I do remember that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember exactly what the play was. So interesting that so. This is an interesting start because you're putting the Samurott in now to like get your spikes up at this point because you think you'll resist the thing that's coming for this, but which I believe is a Terra Captain, right? The Sinistcha.
Yeah, it is Terra. I think it's Terra's. Wait, what Terra type is it?
Fire?
3. It's Terra Water.
Oh, it's 3.
So maybe you don't want to stay in. So this is like a spec Hydreigon.
The Draco probably kills it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also see like if it is specs or if you're expecting a choice set, it could just as easily click U-turn, which it does, and then you're taking that
exactly
here. So I guess he doesn't take that much though. It's not because he's not a physical attacker. And then okay.
The most damage I've ever seen a Dazzling Gleam from Screamtail do.
Yeah. Well,
unboosted.
I'm curious about the flip turn then because like I'm wondering. I mean, I guess you find out that he's invested in speed, but again, like maybe a better move to click at that point is just the Ceaseless Edge because you have like free swaps on Screamtail. Basically, you have 2 of them, so there's no reason to really,
on a list of things though, I didn't expect it. Oh, it was that next turn.
Oh, okay.
Flame Charge Skeletor. So I've run Flame Charge Skeletor before, by the way. It's actually pretty good. But this turn, I did not expect to see a weakness policy.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. And then it gets so close.
Yeah.
Is that GG? If this gets the kill here,
so if he clicked Torch Song to begin with, because
definitely over.
Like then he. Well, okay, but +1 speed Dirge probably isn't that
Oh,
bad.
well, yeah, actually, that's true. There is a potential Scarf Hydreigon there.
Yeah. Well, not even that, but like, I feel like Screamtail might just outspeed it, like, at +1.
Maybe, too. Yeah, good point. Man, that would have been so cool to see, though.
Yeah.
Yep, Scald. Gets the burn, nice.
Boing. Sub.
This is pretty dangerous versus an Encore, but it is one of the few things that's actually like a fast CM setter. But I think that reveals no Encore, right? After a Wishes.
Yeah, that's all the moves.
Yeah.
That's the
I think those Wishes is so unnecessary.
Yeah.
But Baton Pass is hard to fit on the Screamtail.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't have enough. Like, if you're running rocks, you're already sacrificing an entirely, like, a super important move.
Oh, and it lives at 1. Sorry, 2, but...
So, wow. Is it AV?
Every EV, it all matters.
Yeah. But he's still slower.
Yeah.
Goes
I do think this is, This is a really good showing of why Screamtail pretty much always runs the Encore.
Yeah. Oh.
I have a sneaking suspicion. Oh.
So this was an interesting turn. I don't know if it just wasn't calced or what. I forget what they said. But
I think it was a laziness kind of thing of assuming that it killed.
And just being like, hey, let's get some health back.
Yeah. But I mean, what changes between having like 1 HP and having 25 HP, you know? Like nothing.
Yeah. Like I don't think anything has priority left anyway.
1. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This might have been over if this just clicked Shadow Ball, honestly.
Yeah. There's the
We don't know if there's Aquajet.
And so now here is the turn that we talked about.
Right.
So Raikou survives a Dark Pulse here.
It's a roll.
No, it was a guaranteed. Like we looked it up for this
Guaranteed.
one. When we looked at Hydracon's actual set, it was guaranteed. You wouldn't assume that in his position, like in the position of Raikou, that because there are ways that it could kill, but with this specific set, it was actually guaranteed survive the Dark Pulse. So if he had stayed in with that Calm Mind +2 and like outspeeding everything, he could have just won the game.
Damn.
Because then, yeah. Because if this Hydreigon's dead, I think the game's... I think Gardevoir
once again, though, just taking advantage of this Screamtail.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, again, having no Encore, and then Wish passing to something that can't...
That isn't going to survive.
This is literally a 5v7 game where Screamtail is like a double agent.
Yeah. That's a risk with Stealth Rocks as well, because Screamtail does not want to show all 4 moves that early, and if you're leading with Stealth Rocks, or if you're putting Stealth Rocks up early, you're already showing one of them. If you need to Wish at any point, you're showing that one. If you need to attack at any point, you're showing that one. And then, okay, what's the last move?
This crit definitely mattered, by the way.
I think
Guard has like 109 million
That's just neutral, right?
Yeah, and it's neutral.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember we calced that one too, I think.
There is always a flinch chance.
Yeah, so it's not guaranteed.
Oh, and the crit on Dark Pulse, I think that was a roll too. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, I said surely
unfortunate.
It might not have because it was super effective because he didn't Terra.
Yeah. Still a crazy ending, getting 2 crits to wind up or to end up the game. What was the Raikou's in Bulk Best? Just so I can double check the count.
Yeah, 248 HP.
Oh yeah, that's so bulky.
And then
so Dark Pulse still does 8.3 to 9.9, and it was at 9.
With Timid, and he was at +2.
Yep. So it's like exactly a 50 roll.
No, but he was at 10. He was at 10% though. At that
point. Was it 10? I thought he was at 9.
Because he had leftovers as well. Because it was
at 10.
Yeah,
he was at 10.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the showdown rounding works. Is that like actually 10.0 and above, or is that like 9.8?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
But either way, if you're just looking at the numbers, it's a guaranteed survive. But again, you're assuming he's clicking Dark Pulse too, which is like, you know, I would say that this Raikou isn't doing anything else for the rest of this game. Most likely. Because it has rocks up still too, right? So it's either swapping out now and then...
Well, it resists rocks.
Oh, right, because it's fighting. Yeah, so it could come in one more time. But then, again, if this is Scarf, like, you're banking on this thing being able to kill you or not anyway. So why not just give it a shot, right? Like, while you're already +2, there's a chance.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That is fair.
So...
And then even if he Dracos, then... You're like, okay, cool. Now you're -2, and I go.
Well, and also a chance that you miss, you know. So,
yeah, and a miss chance.
That's why. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the upsides of like if something goes wrong here, then you take a chunk out of him. That's huge. Yeah. But either way.
Yeah, might be right. I mean, either way, that was a good game. I do think the crit definitely sealed the deal there.
Yeah.
Gardevoir could have probably gone off. Does Hydreigon have Flash Cannon or anything here? I think it was Earth Power.
Earth Power, Earth Power. Draco, you turn, yeah, so without the crit, I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, tough
Anything
loss.
it could have done.
Tough to stomach
Wait,
for
who clipped
Itsuki
Slugger?
there, but BoboZab coming out with the win.
The Iron Mouse. Cool.
Almost pulled off the sauce with the Skeledirge too. All good. Okay, on to Swarm, we have your battle.
Yeah.
I guess to pick your brain a little, what was your thought going into the game with all your monkeys?
I think you're assuming, based on the fact that I said I didn't have a lot of time to prep today, that I spend a lot of time prepping normally, which is not the case. This is still a very
literal
YOLO
monkey
team. I don't remember actually. So what was my Terra? Oh yeah, this was literally just like I saw that he didn't really have that many great dark resists, or like it was like Meowscarada and maybe one other. And Meowscarada's not a real resist for anything because it's Meowscarada.
Yep.
And so I was like, all right, Terra Dark knockoff. Originally, I didn't want to choice it because there were too many things that like could kind of abuse that, like Gouging Fire and Zapdos. So I did pads. I was running double pads because I had pads on Ambipom and pads on Zarude. So I had SD just like if I needed that. That was basically my thought. Was like, hey, most of these mons don't want to touch like Burning Bulwark or Zapdos. Period. So I need to run pads for those ones.
Makes sense.
And then Infernape getting Scorching Sands is just awesome. I love that buff that it got because then I can run special sets that don't get like, you know, like it just gives me a lot of options. I don't get walled by a fire type.
Is Scorching Sands that important though? I feel like it's so weak.
It's nice because it helps against like rock. Well, I guess fighting covers
Helps
rock.
against like Chandelure. Like I can't think.
There
of
are
very many
some.
for you.
There are some matchups where you either don't want to like you're either if you're running special. I mean, because he has Aura Sphere now too, which is nice. But like previously, it'd be like, okay, you're relying on Focus Blast to hit, or you're not killing this mon, or like specifically in draft, like then you can look and see like, oh, okay, the Scorching Sands will kill here, and sometimes not be expected. So like in the case of specifically against fire types, where Gouging Fire is bulky enough that I'm pretty sure he survives a nasty plot Focus Blast anyway. But like he would definitely survive a nasty plot or a sphere. It's just the Scorching Sands just kind of puts that check more. Like it just covers more options, and it covers Terra too. Like you never know what someone's going to Terra into. Sometimes just having that extra option where it's like you're expecting fire and fighting from the Infernape. Here's a type that you maybe weren't expecting, right? Or maybe you're even running like a berry for one of those two if you're a steel type or something. Okay, well now the ground covers that, and maybe it covers this swap that's coming in that would normally handle it.
Yeah,
right? Like, it's just
maybe.
I
can't say I'm high on it.
I don't think it's a bring to every game thing. I just like that it's an extra option for a special set.
Totally fair.
So, because think about it, like his steel type is, I mean, obviously going to be weak to fire, but not weak to fighting, neutral to fighting. And if I'm maybe in a situation where, again, like I don't want to miss Fire Blast, but Scorching Sand skills from here, maybe I click that.
But how strong is Aura Sphere? 90?
80.
So I mean, it's a 120 move with Aura Sphere, or it's a 140 move with Scorching Sands. The burn chance is nice, but I don't know if it warrants an entire move slot.
With Infernape,
And it opens the doors to like weakness policy sets too.
With Infernape though, I've noticed in a lot of the calculations for the games where I'm building for him, he is very often like 2% off from getting an Oko, and that 120 to 140 is actually more important than it might seem in some matchups.
Yeah, it might be.
Especially like if you're moving items around too. Like if I'm not investing like Life Orb, and I'd rather go with something like Expert Belt, which I know you hate Expert Belt, but Expert Belt gives the boost to Scorching Sands against a mon that would be neutral to fighting, that Aura Sphere wouldn't boost to. So I don't know. There's scenarios for it. I think it's a nice buff for it.
Yeah,
and I think
but
it's
like
nice that it doesn't get.
The Life Orb would just boost the Aura Sphere anyways, right?
But you're chipping yourself down.
So what? It has like paper thin defenses.
But it's up against a Bullet Punch from Metagross that might do 50%. You know, like that.
50. No, not unless you're CCing.
If it's banded,
anyway, no, it doesn't do 50.
It might, maybe not 50. Who? There was somebody else on this team too. Or Sucker Punch was another one too. Like banded Sucker Punch was like I resist it, but like there are a lot of priority options that like I might need to be able to survive. And I didn't want to be chipping myself down. Or there were some scenarios like against the Gouging Fire where it's like I know I'm doing 90 at most. If I survive the first hit, then I can finish him off. But then it's like, okay, well I don't want to be at 10% now. So like then I just died of the life.
That's okay. Let's just get it in the replay and see what actually happened. Now we know you have Scorching Sands on Infernape.
Shh. Don't spoil it.
Don't tell Fairz though.
So wait, what was this first turn? I didn't know. Okay, so Ambipom, I feel like Ambipom is pretty low, like 0 drawback here. I mean, if he's leading Meow, I fake out. If he's leading if he's leading the Sinistra, I forget what else. Oh, I have the triple axle. Like there are a lot of things. Oh,
does your axle not kill Nidoqueen here?
It does, but I also I wasn't running wide lens or anything, so there's a chance that it misses. Figure the fake out's just free. Well, and it's not going to make a difference on the Metagross.
But your axle can miss even if you fake out, right? Like if you fake out into Nidoqueen, you do, let's say 20%. You still have to click triple axle, and you're still going to risk the miss.
But then I see they stayed in. Fake out gives me the scout turn too.
What are you scouting? Either you okay, the difference is because you're saying, oh, we can go into Metagross on the triple axle, right?
Yeah.
Well, he goes into Metagross on the fake out, and now you did less damage to the Metagross.
Or I missed the Metagross and I don't see these leftovers. Or
it's a 10%. Like you just, I think you just click it.
I was considering it, but I also don't know. Like I don't know. There's a lot because fake out's also better on Gouging Fire. I mean, I guess it's not.
Triple axle, it's better. Okay, it's better if it misses. Yeah, but I agree that a move that hits is better than a move that misses.
Or like even Zapdos. So Zapdos doesn't die to triple axle, but it does die to fake out triple axle. That was another thing that I was actually thinking of, was that if he swaps it on the fake out, he might not expect me to stay in triple axle in his face when I just risked maybe a static proc, right, with the fake out. So that was another one too. It does 90% max.
I don't know, but okay, if triple axle on the Switch does 90%, then you can click a different move.
I still, but what if I miss? Right, like it's still like I don't like just clicking triple axle when it's the first move of the game.
Saying that you could miss on that turn though is the exact same.
But also,
as
okay. What if he's scarfed? What if he's scarfed? What if he stays in on the fake out and maybe he's scarfed? Okay,
I don't think
maybe I'm swapping out. I think a 0 drawback fake out is fine there because triple axle is doing maybe 10% more to Metagross.
I don't know. You're saying 0 drawback, but then you're saying what the drawback is if you miss all the time. And I think unilaterally triple axle is just a better move here.
I think,
but that's okay.
Fake out is 0 drawback, not triple axle. Triple axle has drawbacks if I miss.
I mean, the drawback is you did 11% here instead of 40%.
I don't think it does 40%.
Instead of 35%.
Either way,
this would have been the same outcome. It's just I think you would have had an extra 20-something% chip on Metagross here. This Trailblaze is really sweet.
I did not realize that Metagross had Trailblaze. Oh, he doesn't have Seed Bomb or anything like that. There is nothing that he hits this dude with. Yeah. So I can just bring him in.
I had a Ranbat set the other day that was Trailblaze for Alligator with Sheer Force, and I was like, huh. That's actually kind of cool.
Oh, because I guess you're not getting the boost, but
yeah.
But that one makes sense. I know a lot of starters got it. Just to have it. Which is weird because
specifically with Sheer Force, I think is cool because it always lacked grass coverage, so.
Yeah, that's true. Because it does Grass Knot, I guess, in a special set. But you know who should have gotten it was Infernape, because he's a monkey. He should have Trailblaze. He has Grass Knot.
Yeah, I kind of agree though. It does have Grass Knot and it has Flame Charge, so it has ways of emulating that. But
because I actually noticed that when I was building for today's game, I was like, oh, because he was a similar situation where it's like, okay, well, I can run special with Grass Knot to hit the Mega Swampert, or I can run physical with rock coverage to hit the Thundy, but I can't hit both. So
yeah, true.
But anyway.
Yeah, regardless, that's a cool Trailblaze.
So this was kind of I actually spent a lot of time on this turn because I was like, is he gonna click Trailblaze again, or is he gonna think that I'm gonna swap and go for something else?
Yeah, and maybe Zarude is the play here.
It's just I didn't want to bring in Zarude on something else and then be in bullet punch range.
Yeah.
Or not even bullet punch. He outspeeds me now, right?
Yeah,
So,
I was gonna say I think you're overestimating bullet punch damage though.
But yeah, I mean, I wasn't certain on the set yet either. I'm also, I guess I'm also maybe mixing it up with like Scissor's Technician Bullet Punch too. It's just does so much more.
Like Ambipom's fake out and stuff.
Yeah, but
different.
I decided here, it's like, because this dude's like huge for the gouging fire matchup, but I decided to kind of just be like, cut my losses. If he calls out a swap and goes for something that I survive on my Scald or whatever I was clicking, I don't even remember. Maybe it's Earthquake. Then fine. But if he kills me, then we'll figure it out. I genuinely did, like, at this point though, I was like, I might just lose to this. I don't have anything that outspeeds it except for priority that is not super effective in these leftovers. So I actually thought though, like, my only hope here was like, I don't even know what, like, it was really just because if he Terra'd there, he survives the knockoff, and he can. It was flying. That was the other thing I noticed at the beginning too, is that
terrifying.
he has both Terra Captains are flying. This team is so weak to triple axle. So that was another reason why I didn't want to lose Ambipom on a missed triple axle, or
die anyways.
It's not even that it dies though. So there's so many things that can outspeed it and kill it back, right? Like, and I don't want to risk anything like damaging this mon that doesn't need to be damaged. And you'll see why that actually mattered too.
Well, I mean,
later on,
saying there's zero drawback is also just like saying, well, he could be covert cloak. It's like, okay, it could. You're right.
Yeah.
But there's some cases in the game where you just have to click the button and see what their prep is. It didn't end up mattering. Even if you had 3 hits in triple axle, the Metagross would have died anyways, because it died at 89 here.
Well, actually, it might have mattered for the well, it died at 89, yeah, because it
didn't Terra. But
if he Terra'd, it might have mattered though, because I think it was doing like 60%.
Yeah.
So. But what are we doing here? So, but then he also loses lefties. So like, there is a world where if he Terra'd and he's no longer resistant to fake out and he doesn't have leftovers, that I could still get rid of him. Because he'd still be at like 20%. I would have to sack a few mons to do it, but
but I mean, it would not lose you the game immediately.
Yeah. Well, and also like I'm seeing some of the damage and like what he has too, like, and I maybe get an idea of like who doesn't get one hit KO'd by this, like, because he's only +2 speed, he's not +2 anything else. So So this was the play that is actually unusual for me. I don't normally make this kind of play because I think of Ambipom as like, this mon dies to 1 hit, so it doesn't matter if I take damage. Even though it doesn't. Like, I just usually like treat it like that because I don't want to take unnecessary damage on it. So I get the kill here, and I know the U-turn is coming. There's like, why wouldn't he click it? He knows that I'm banded. He knows that he outspeeds me and clicks U-turn and kills me here. And I don't really have a great swap for it besides the Landorus. So I'm thinking he either calls out the Landorus and triple axles himself, or he U-turns and then gets positioning. So my idea here was basically, now that I saw what his swap was for the first fake out, now I'm thinking, okay, if I get Ambipom back in here on a U-turn, so now the only mon that outspeeds me on that team is not able to
switching out.
Stand in front, because he's switching out. Then I get either a guaranteed fake out on something, or I get my triple axle that I now know that he has nothing for. Like he doesn't have an answer for it.
No, I like this turn.
So I go in here because I know I survived that U-turn, and then
this is where fake out's fine because there's no Metagross now.
And then click that, and it's like, okay, I don't know why you swapped there, but because like you're probably expecting at this point too, but maybe he said that he said that he was expecting the protective pads, so I don't know, but
did you not have a better move to click against Zapdos than?
So it was knockoff or U-turn, and knock does kill, but I didn't want him swapping to something that then Zarude doesn't kill with my Terra Dark knockoff.
Could miss.
I know, and that
you see how ridiculous this sounds, like when I say it.
No, but that was an actual thought that I had. I actually thought for a while on this turn, like, do I click triple axle and risk missing? Then again, I only have to hit it once. I don't have to get 3 hits or 2 hits, right? Because so it's a little different where it was just a 90%. But I specifically didn't want to knock into a swap to something that would then survive my knockoff on, because that was my Terra Dark. That's like, this could have been my win condition at a certain point, is that I have my Terra Dark, Zarude sweeping, and so I didn't want to knock anyone's item off when I didn't need to. So I was like, you know what? If I lose it here, it's fine. Like it countered the things that it was supposed to counter, and then you know, I'm gonna be relying on everything else anyway to close this game out.
I think
so that's why I was fine with losing Ammo Bomb here.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story is it's hard to run. Like, you have a lot of knockoff users. What, you have like 5 months?
No, I know that it's something that I've definitely encountered, where it actually makes it harder to run Ammo Bomb with Zarude, because my best Ghost answer kind of cucks him. So
yeah, true.
But at least in that decks I have Lariat. So if I need to run something other than knockoff on Zarude, then that's fine. So,
yep, agreed.
But yeah, but this was literally like, if I miss, I die, but that's fine. So I did think about that though there. So now this time I was like, okay, he might U-turn again. I don't have anything to swap in on it. If I'm going to sack something, I'm going to sack this Zarude, because I know that if Zarude dies to a triple axle, Infernape comes in and sets up and wins.
True.
Every time that meows in, I'm swapping to Lando at this point, because without Zapdos, well, not even without Zapdos necessarily. I just knew that at that point, like knowing what the team that was left and knowing what everything was at. Wait, why does it say Nidoqueen is fainted, but he's not? Oh,
because you paused the turn.
I'm like, wait, what's his HP at? I think it was specifically the whatever chip everyone was at. It was like, okay, I know that Infernape can close it out. It might have actually even been, I don't remember. Either way, I knew that like if Lando dies to Meow, that is a free setup turn. And now I was actually wrong, and here's why this is important. So he kills. This is like, I am ready for you to click triple axle on me. Please do it and bring Infernape in. I am 100% convinced that this is a choiced Meowscarada here.
Why?
But it wasn't. Because he's clicking U-turn all game, and then
what?
The what?
So what?
I'm thinking he's clicking U-turn, and specifically the fact that he U-turned even with the Lando was that he didn't want to be choiced into triple axle on something that wasn't Lando. You know what I mean? Like maybe I go into it for the first time, he doesn't want to be choiced into triple axle. He is Flying Gem Acrobatics, and I'm thinking that either he was expecting like Banded Mach Punch, which when you're ice is, you might still die to that, or Scarf something or whatever. Because if he just clicks Acrobatics here, I think I lose, because I don't think Infernape survives Flying Gem Acrobatics. But he swaps
I don't
it.
think so.
So I actually just didn't even think it was a possibility at that point.
Maybe expecting Sash. Sash is pretty common on.
Sash is true too. Yeah, Infernape had not been shown yet. You have no idea what this mon's running, and so I think it's valid to swap out here. It was more of a retrospect thing. Be like, wow, I could have lost if he just clicked Acrobatics, because I'm like 100% convinced like that I'm surviving any button that he clicks, because he's Flower Trick, like I resist Grass, I resist Dark, I resist Ice, I resist Buck. What is he clicking to hit me? And I just didn't even occur to me that it could be running that. So I'm like, this is the freest nasty plot in the world, and I'm gonna click this and win. And now another mistake that I made, which didn't end up mattering because I survived, but I'm thinking that the neutral +2 Fire Blast should kill him, and I'm not thinking about Heat Proof.
Oh, oops.
So like because like when he's weak to fire, it was a kill. Like it kills him if he stays grass.
Yeah.
But I did not
now
think about like, oh, now it was, it's effectively resist. Yeah. So when I saw that not kill, and then I see the skull come out, I was like, I lost. But then I saw that didn't kill me. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm at 100%. So now I just need to not miss a Fire Blast. So, and that was, again, like, part of the reason too, like it's also a mental thing with the triple axle, where it's like, I don't want to risk missing these moves when my win con in some cases comes down to landing 3 Fire Blasts in a row. You know, like it's like, I'm gonna try and keep as much in my control as I can throughout this game, so that, you know, I'm not wasting my good RNG. You know, so then in this case, I know I'm not killing with Scorching Sands, but I figure, you know, it gets him low enough that Ambipom can kill him, or, you know, somebody just outspeeds him who can survive a hit will kill him. But I'm also calling out the setup turn here.
Yeah, for sure.
He doesn't really have any options, so
yeah, worst case scenario, you can still get a Vacuum Wave chip off too.
Right. Yeah. So he does his setup.
Well, there you go. You actually just beat it with.
No, I knew I outspeed, because he hadn't Dragon Dance yet. So that was my idea. It's like, if he Dragon Dances on this turn, I win without losing Infernape, because he's going into Vacuum Wave range on the Scorching Sands if he sets up. So if he had killed me here, then I just kill him with someone else. But the fact that he set up means that he's just dead to Infernape, and then Vacuum Wave kills me out. But if he had spent that turn killing me instead of setting up, then I'm not worried about like outspeeding or anything. So it's like, you know, Ambipom with the priority would maybe lose to the, if he was already Dragon Dance and he had Burning Bulwark, then it's like, yeah, okay, now I can't fake out you. But he didn't set, like if he did, that's a scenario where he doesn't set up and doesn't have the boost, and then literally anyone just comes in and kills him. So
yeah, I mean, like regardless, I think that was really well played, and I, not gonna lie, I did not expect to see out of the gates both the Monkey team and the Avatar team coming out with week 1 wins.
I still think it's true that the gimmick teams will always do better in the first couple weeks where nobody has seen what it can do.
Yeah, and then you start to reveal your hand, and
then it's like, now I can't mix anything up. Like know that you know my best trees, and if you can beat that, then you just beat the team. So that's why I think, like, you know, people are gonna figure out like, oh, what worked, what didn't work against this team. Like, how much can you really throw to the wayside against this team, and like just kind of mess around, right?
Yeah.
And
all right, well, we have 2 more replays. Yep. Let's maybe go over, this one looks good. And
then the last
this I think was pretty close to something that I'd call a masterclass. I think this was out of the gates. There was a very defined, I won't say for who, but there was a very defined win condition. There was very specific calcs done. That's like, I just need to have this one at this percentage, and then this thing pops off and wins. So we'll see what that is going into it. This is Mega Beedrill and Mega Gallade, and it's Terra Ogerpon and Terra Blastoise.
Oh, wait, the Terra preview doesn't show until the game starts. So.
Yeah, you have to play sound off,
So, and we still can't see it because it's under all the chat. So, oh boy, I wonder what Terra type Ogerpon Wellspring is.
Yeah.
Was that the only Terra captain?
I think Weezing might be Terra as well. Yeah, Weezing is Terra. And then it's Blastoise and Rotom on Trace's side.
Grass and Flying. Wait.
Nope.
No.
Grass
I was looking at this needs to switch up, yeah. Let's say Terra Flying Rotom is an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Air Balloon.
Yeah, Air Balloon, Terra Flying, Levitate.
Yeah. Okay, so Mega Beedrill lead.
Yeah.
Pretty
Makes
standard,
sense.
pretty classic.
I want to get your Mega out.
So it is Levitate, though.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say I was expecting Neutralizing Gas, but I do think Neutralizing Gas is neat into the adaptability Beedrill. You save yourself a lot of chip.
But your Rocky Helmet is already also going to be doing a decent amount, and maybe there's something like with the Tinglu. I don't know. Maybe you just don't want to deal with that. Like, having the
I agree.
Because otherwise, he does not have
even having Weezing on the team.
Yeah, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have ground immunity with the
this,
2
by the way, is kind of like all Blastoise needs to do here is just chip Prim, make it die to like sand eventually.
Yeah. So wait, was this Shell Smash on a swap? I missed.
Yeah, it was on the Weezing.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because you turned into the.
Yeah, and I mean, what's Weezing gonna do? Sit there and try and Sludge Bomb you?
Yeah, I mean, maybe Toxic. I don't know. Like if you're expecting, but like you were gonna run out of time before. Like I mean, he's gonna kill you.
Let's see how much damage Toxic would have done here.
Yeah.
6%.
You know what would be interesting though?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's running it, but Clear Smog on the Terra Grass Blastoise.
True.
I mean, like you're not gonna like Weezing isn't as specially defensive as it is physically, but it might have been like a nice call out, especially for the white herb, because then if he wants to Shell Smash again, he doesn't get the removal. I don't think he's running it, but that might have been a cool anti-tech for that setup turn, and like a reason that maybe you wouldn't Shell Smash directly in front of it. But that's also a hard call out. Like I feel like you don't plan for that, and technically the worst part of the exchange is that you lose your white herb, but like realistically you're not really losing that much because you didn't Terra on that turn, so it wouldn't take
exactly. It wasn't Terra until it clicked Terra Blast.
Yeah. But against Extra Drill, if you did have that -1 defense and he's in sand and outspeeding you at just +2, he might be a bigger difference.
The Moonblast does get the special attack drop,
Yeah.
I don't remember if that ends up mattering at all.
I don't know.
I think Trace was hoping that would kill.
So now this extra should outspeed the Blastoise. Yeah, he swaps.
Yeah, it's revealed not Mold Breaker, but this X Scissor was actually really crazy.
That is nice. I guess like it's funny because Excadrill was added the generation after Rotom and put at like 1 base speed higher with Mold Breaker and Earthquake, and Stab Earthquake. Against Rotom though, you have a move for it, so you don't have to do that on your Sandrush team.
Well, it was also added in the same generation as the Type Berries, I'm pretty sure. Or was that Gen 4, actually?
I don't remember when the Type Berries
I think it was Gen 5, where they added the Type Berries.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I didn't know they existed until, like, Gen 8. Because that's, like, when I actually started, like, paying attention to the game.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're way more common in draft anyway, so that's when I started.
The X-Scissor does snipe the Rotom, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It actually ends up getting a burn on Gigalith, which is really big.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really like a snipe on him either, but he took the damage from it though.
Yeah, this Toxic, I don't think it's gonna matter. Gigalith doesn't take anything from the Volt Switch, but
yeah, with the boost and sand. Oh, but wait, hold on. So Gigalith comes in with 3 turns of sand left, or I guess 2 really after the. No, okay, it is the 3rd. So I'm assuming he preserves him after this, right? I don't remember what happens. I saw the Annihilate come out on like the last turn.
And it is 100% smooth rock as well.
Yeah, at this point. You know what's funny? The 50% reduction, basically like with that doing 7% and him taking burn chip is almost the same as him just taking regular from the Volt Switch.
Yeah, true.
2 mods with Pain Split. Let's see if they share their
doubles
pain.
back to the Rotom on the Weezing switch. That's nice.
Yeah. There's the Pain Split. Now let's see if Weezing clicks Pain Split.
Thank you very much. That's an oopsie for sure. Probably expecting the Volt Switch there instead of the Defog.
I actually missed the turn. So he defogs and what did he click?
Pain Split and just heals the Rotom.
He clicked Pain. I thought this was the next turn and the Rotom was clicking Pain Split.
No. So the Weezing clicked Pain Split, predicting that Rotom would have Volt Switched against it.
Yeah. A true masterclass. Oops. Who are you even? Like, what if he goes into Blastoise? Like, then you just heal him too. Even on the Volt Switch, like, who are you Pain Splitting? I guess, like, any of these 3
the Blastoise has done its job.
Yeah. Wait, that move can hit?
Huh? Don't you use it to miss?
Wild.
This is Terra. Yeah, so it can pop this. Funny that the U-turn probably does more than the Flying Stab would have to it.
Yeah. I mean, especially when it misses.
True.
U-turn doesn't miss.
Unless it does.
Oh, true.
Superpower,
No
I feel like
nicknames.
there's got to have been something better to click than Superpower.
Yeah, you go Terra Fighting and click Terra Blast, obviously.
True.
Who did he click it on? Is it the...
This thing is actually a threat too. Like if it doesn't have its attack dropped after the superpower, there's
what
not a clear
would it have to click there?
Play rough, like your water stab.
Well, water stab would still be resisted.
Yeah, but you're also Terra Water.
True, and he's low enough they probably just died of toxic afterwards anyway. Rage.
The fact though that this bulk up makes the Zen Headbutt for Mega Gallade do 45%. That is crazy.
I forget what the investment was on the Annihilate. Was it just HP?
I think it was just HP. I think it's Spidef. It might be Fizdef. I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean the comments.
I looked high for
HP
Fizdef.
Spidef. Yeah. Absolutely insane that this mon just gets its stat boost back every time.
Oh my god, man. What's even more insane is Rage Fist.
Yeah, it's true.
That move is so busted, man.
Oh, this might have been another game that we were talking after because we had the conversation about Rage Fist.
Yep. God, I hate that move.
It is so broken. That's one of the reasons why it's like I feel like I can't count my team out of anything when it's just like, yeah, and I like could just win alone. Like,
Yeah.
like regardless of the matchup.
Yep.
Yeah, and at this point it's like once you have
Speaking of Annihilate winning out, here it is.
Yep.
So what did it get? 4 or 5 there?
I think it was the last 4. Because it came
Yeah,
in
I got 4.
on the bulk up
Came
was
in
on the Gallade, yeah. It got the
Yeah,
rest.
set up
It literally
on
screwed up.
Did it set up on Ogre Pawn?
It set up on the swap out of Ogre Pawn. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ogre Pawn had to switch out, right? Because
Oh wait, no.
no, before that. On the Gallade.
Oh, it was, yeah,
from
okay,
Ogre
yeah.
Pawn into Gallade. And it only had to do that, I think, because it
Wait,
superpower
reduced
and
its
dropped its attack.
Yeah. Yeah, Playrough would have gone hard because you don't drop your attack and then you can also kill the Annihilate. So.
Yep.
Now Flinch
But
changes
yeah,
everything.
ends up being just kind of nuts.
See
So I think it was such a good game from Trace
it was
because the Blastoise coming in early was never the win con. It was there
Yeah.
to just make sure that Prim is down, because that's pretty much the only thing that Annihilate can't set up on,
Mhm.
right? Is Prim and I guess Weezing, and those were the first 2 mons down, right?
Yeah.
So it was very clear identification right from the get-go of I plan on winning against this Sand team, surprise, surprise, with an Annihilate. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, very well played. Honestly, Tinglu didn't even leave its ball, and Beedrill did exactly what it needed to do. It brought in Weezing to start chipping it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but
So,
just for
really good
reference,
game.
he
Only
did
20
have
turns.
defense investment on that.
Yeah, it is Fizdef.
And it's
Not quite
impish too, so.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that Mega Gallade still did almost 50 to a +1 Fizdef Annihilate is still
I
pretty
think it's weak to it at least.
Yeah.
But... All right, here's the last one. This is the longest one, but we can
Yeah,
skip through
it is the longest. Let's keep it on normal speed. This game I think started out going very well for one player and
Yeah.
ended
Just
not
completely
going so
flipped
well.
around.
Things that looked like they were good in the beginning ended up being a detriment down the line. So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
game is wild, yeah, Fennec. That's crazy
So
that
Terra Fairy right off the bat.
yeah.
Wisp and then the Synchronize.
Haha, your dirge got burned. That will never come back to bite me in the ass later.
Terrafire Snorlax. I thought that the Terrafire Snorlax actually looked pretty good this game overall.
I agree, actually, and it's immunity too, so it doesn't even get poisoned by these T-spikes.
Yeah. Though actually Thick Fat might have been better against the end game that we saw.
True. Well, I think it not being poisoned was...
Yeah, that's pretty huge. I guess
Well,
that
let
does
it
make
get
a
to that
massive
point.
difference, yeah.
Yeah. This Whirlwind, though, it came in very, very, very clutch.
Yeah.
I really like this Snorlax set. Although I think its only attack is
It was Heat Crash.
Heat Crash, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause what is
Which
it? Like
Terrafire is
Whirlwind?
fine, but yeah, it has Toxic
Toxic.
too.
Yeah, last
Um,
move is Protect there.
Yeah. If you're running like Body Slam instead of the Protect, maybe. That also doesn't really help in the end game against the Dirge.
What I would have liked to have seen is just some hazards. If you're running Whirlwind,
Yeah.
I think Mew needs to come in and click hazards, because it's the only hazard setter. Although this Snorlax is very good against the Dirge. Like almost anything Dirge wants to do, especially when it's Terra Fairy, Lax just smacks it. But this is the part where the fact that this Skeletor just burned means that it can't be poisoned.
Yeah.
Like, this is toxic on Snorlax. Toxic tech Snorlax. So you have to rely on your Whirlwind because you can't poison it. I like the prediction of the Toxic there. I think it was to try and hit the Raging Bolt that is predicting the Whirlwind, you know?
Yeah.
So like saying, oh, Raging Bolt isn't going to sub because I've just been Whirlwinding the last 5 turns. It's going to hit me with a, I don't know, a Draco.
Right. That's a
very nice Will-O-Wisp.
And oh wait, yeah, we did in the chat that she did not think that.
For gore. If it's me, I leech again. Not gonna lie. Yeah, NT.
Yeah, but what if you miss?
True. I should just click foul play all the time.
Yeah.
The fact that Snorlax is still at 100%, by the way.
Well, the only things it's been in on were like the dirge that like isn't outpacing leftovers. So.
Yeah. Okay, get a hazard. Put up rocks here.
There's a spike.
Here we go, spikes. Spike-a-roonies. Another one. I don't know if I like that. I probably would have tried to keep Mew. Like, you've shown that your Snorlax set completely beats this.
I mean, maybe he's expecting a swap because it's like, oh, Snorlax comes in every time.
Yeah, maybe.
But then again, even
I really like the Quick being able to rapid spin into all this too.
Yeah. You can't even see the spikes, but there's two.
Oh, but roosting on the spike. I think that was a really smart Nidoqueen sack.
He's probably expecting the flip turn.
Yeah, well, it stops the flip turn and it stops the rapid spin. So.
But wait, does he still have anything up? Oh, he does.
Yeah, there's two spikes.
Okay, so, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense then.
And then spin block of your own for MonkeBoi. This Axel doesn't quite kill.
Wow, that is a bulky one. And
but misses the Will-O-Wisp. Damn, NT. And then, yeah, this outspeeds. I think it is guaranteed outspeed. It outsped Skeledirge, it outsped Nidoqueen, and I think it also outsped Raging Bolt.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a problem with the other team, though, having so many things between 70, or whatever Skeledirge is, like 66 or 67 or whatever. Up to 85. Yeah, it's really sandwiched in.
Getting the knock on the lefties there, I feel like is a good trade when you're already burned and at 20%.
Yeah, I actually agree.
Because that makes it so much more feasible for like Dirge to break through it, because it just no longer has recovery at that point.
Yeah, exactly. You don't actually just get toxic stalled. Or protect.
I mean,
lefty stalled.
Burn stalled.
Yeah.
Either way, I think it still wins out with slack off versus no recovery, but
yeah, exactly.
And like when you're boosting your special attack constantly, but having the protects to like delay the boosted special attack. How many torch songs did he have at that point?
Can't sub.
11 out of 16.
I'm assuming this is Infiltrator anyways, so actually if it did sub, that might not have been bad.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, it just missed. No para.
And then a thunderclap would kill here. Oh, and that was a super smart
That's a
play.
cool turn.
I remember seeing that.
That's a really cool turn.
It's just a fuck your sucker punch mind games. You're gonna click it the first time and then you won't click it again.
Yep.
That's a really smart turn.
Yep. And even if Raging Bolt went for Thunderbolt there, then it would just be disabled.
Yeah, because he went first.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Disable's so good against Sucker Punch mind games.
Yeah.
If you were Hypnosis, you won. Why would you assume you hit?
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about Darkrai is like, oh, if I was Hypnosis, I won, and assuming that I hit the Hypnosis. But like, why would you put your game in the hands of a 60% roll? I don't know.
It is kind of crazy that if this Snorlax still had lefties, like he's immune to the Wisp, he just has to survive 11 torch songs with protect. Oh no, he has a luring voice too. Never mind. But luring voice also wouldn't be doing that much.
Yeah, I understand that hypnosis can just get you out of positions that you didn't have any business winning. But I can't say that I would ever want to rely on it. Get PP stalled. Yep. It's over from here. You can't. So very specifically, because the Skeledirge burned itself on Muse Synchronize, Snorlax couldn't end up going for the Toxic. And then I think you can just skip turns here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just wins in a couple turns.
Yeah. Crit mattered.
So, MonkeBoi, I really thought you played that game very well. It is like, it kind of sucks that the Dirge terra'd into getting burned, and that ended up losing you the game. But I mean, that's a you take those moment for Bunhara.
This is actually why Terra Dirge is broken, because it can burn himself on Synchronize.
True.
And then he can't be toxic.
Yep. Not because it's not like it could Terra into a type that just can't be toxic.
Correct.
That would never happen.
Nope.
I brought a real last move on Lax. I do think the Protect was fine. It's just it ended up not being good in this game because the main thing you wanted to toxic
scenario
ended up getting burned.
Yeah.
Return would have been nice, but I don't think it even breaks through anyways. Maybe like Earthquake would have been okay, actually, looking at this. But even then, like, it's Terra Fairy. It doesn't actually beat it. So I don't think beat yourself up very much about it. I think it's honestly, it was just a GG. I really enjoyed watching this game. It was one of the longer ones of the week. I think most games were over by 30, and this one was almost double that. Definitely in PP Wars, yeah.
I think also it's like it was a really interesting showcase of two not common Terra circumstances. So you have a unique low tier Terra captain, which I think did a pretty cool job, and then you have just not necessarily, maybe not intentionally, but just another really cool thing that played out of the self burn synchronize on the Terra of a Mon that normally can't be burned, and then that closing out a game. So it's two very Terra only things that happened in this game.
Yeah,
because if this is the caliber of set,
if this is the caliber of set that that MonkeBoi is gonna keep bringing, that like. I'm saying this in a good way because I actually like the Lax set, regardless of whether you think Protect was good or bad. I actually think if MonkeBoi keeps bringing cool Lax sets like this, that's definitely gonna put it in my good books. Because I've been really wanting to see people try out Terra Snorlax for a while. It's finally happening, so yeah, I can't say that I'm let down already. I'm hoping to be impressed throughout the season.
Yeah,
I think that's all we had, but that was our 5th.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Replay? Yeah, that was it. That was pretty chill. It wasn't too long. When did we start? Like an hour ago?
Yeah, like an hour and a half. And we spent probably about 40 minutes talking about triple axel and Ambipom.
It's okay. It wouldn't be an NBA stream without
a debate
us yapping about Ambipom. Yeah, so moving into week 2, make sure that you get your favorite replays into the highlight submission channel on Discord, and yeah, maybe we'll review some next week. We do plan on getting back next week. I tentatively Wednesday. We're gonna try and stick to, but we'll see if my phone alarm is working by then, and maybe we'll be able to go Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, Monkey Terra band would be nice. If you did banded Terra normal with like double edge, that'd be kind of funny.
It probably won.
I mean,
like
I'm saying just
scenario.
Like in general. No, in this scenario he gets burned by the wisp, but
True. Run banded facade.
That actually
with heat
would
crash.
have won in this scenario. That would have been
that would have been sick.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I actually
Oh,
also
yeah.
have a small sort of announcement. I will be announcing this later on Discord as well. But a little sneak peek for anybody who ended up tuning in until the end. Is since we recently have had a lot of Discord boosts, we are in a position to have a channel banner, or a server banner rather. So what we're going to be doing, rather than just slap something up that just has the same logo and everything, we want to put it to you guys and have a banner contest. So if you are artsy, or if you know anybody artsy and you want to participate in the contest, whoever's banner we decide to use, we can give you a custom role icon as the prize for being selected, as well as obviously being featured as the server banner.
And
so yeah,
$5,000.
and 5,000 Nahyma bucks.
Yeah.
So if that is something that interests you, yeah, feel free to just DM me or just post it anywhere in general and tag me. And yeah, we'll let you guys know as soon as we have a winner.
I would say submissions should definitely be DM'd.
Yeah, okay. DM me.
Yeah.
I'll put that in the announcement as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't have a deadline. I'll think of a deadline when I make the announcement. It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
We don't even know when it's gonna be done by. So
Yeah.
we're gonna give people time to actually like do something, you know?
Yeah,
Just,
exactly.
like,
I
work
want it to
something
be
out.
like at least a week or two,
Yeah.
so that in case anybody's busy this weekend or something, you still have next week to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe even the end of the month. It'll depend on when we get or how many submissions we get.
Yeah.
But that's all we have for this week. Any final comments, Toady?
I got nothing.
Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. There is one watching now. Thank you. That might be me.
I see 3.
You see 3? Okay, I see 1. That's weird.
Wow.
Maybe it's not updated
Maybe
for
that
one
they're
of us.
watching me and not you.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
All right.
well, we'll catch you